let's go back.
How is there not something wrong with that?
I'm a person who's very sensitive to hypocrisy. I don't think it's the only argument out there. But this next one here, specifically, I don't want to say it bothered me because I don't walk around thinking, oh, these guys on Radio Free Mormon said something. But I think this is demonstrative of the intellectual dishonesty that we're dealing with here, okay? After demanding all kinds of respect that Kwaku, you should make room for those that have, done a lot of soul searching and, quote, deconstructed this thing and so on and so forth. Literally, in nearly the same breath, we get this.
But my issue, it was that I would see things like, I won't give names, but a prominent ex-member trying to sneak a porn star into a temple to film a lesbian sex scene, and I'm like,
you say that like there's something wrong with it.
Like that's not how that's. You don't do that.
Look, dude, literally, let's go back.
How is there not something wrong with that? Like, how is there not something wrong with that?
Oh, yeah.
How devoid of empathy do you have to be to not see something wrong with sneaking into someone's place of worship and doing something very, very against what they believe?
I want us to listen to that again.
Yeah.
I wanted us to listen to that again. So everybody can see exactly what's going on here. And I'm going to make his face bigger. I'm going to make everything all in context so nobody can say that this was taken out of context. Okay? But here we go. Let's listen to that one more time.
Prominent ex-member trying to sneak a star into a temple to film a scene, and I'm like,
you say that like there's something wrong with it.
Now, you would think, funny.
Keep playing.
Funny.
Does he like laugh or smile or anything?
Was it just irony that he was having here?
Let it play for just like 3 more seconds.
Like that's not how that's
like
he was just flat out serious.
Yeah, I mean there was no, and look, we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt here. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back here. And we'll finish playing this whole entire thing in all of its context. So you can see all 3 players right here without anybody getting taken out of context or so on and so forth. But literally, he leans forward and says, what is wrong with that? Okay?
You don't do that. To me, that's far different from, I just don't believe. And so normal members, when they see that in their head, it's these ex-Mormons are pretending that they've just left because they don't believe, but they're actually just trying to take it down.
Dude, look.
And because every group has
we literally just played that whole entire thing in which a grown man said, what's wrong with sneaking porn stars into a conservative religion's place of worship?
Mm-hmm.
And I am the hardest joker out there. All right? I mean, half the people at church don't know whether I'm active or inactive because my off-color humor is that bad, probably. Okay, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'd feel comfortable making a joke like that. Well, hey, what's wrong with, we should have a pole in the middle of the freaking, in the middle of the foyer. I could see myself saying something like that. But if the bishop's around, you better believe I'm be like, just kidding. This cat was not kidding.
So this brings me, for the audience watching this,
wait, Kwaku, Cardin, Brad, I think he was kidding. I don't think he's really that kind of person.
That's not what made my spider senses tingle. My spider senses tingled because literally the same podcast that just demanded making room and sensitivity and all of this niceness.
Yeah.
Okay. Literally had zero problem with taking a porn star into a conservative place of worship in order to film illicit sex scenes. Now, by the way, when I first heard that, I actually kind of thought, okay, that's a little bit funny. Like, if done in jest, there's actually part of me that views that as when the LGBTQ kids colored the Y with a rainbow, or, you know, whenever you get some super conservative person to, you know, get into a rap song or something. Like, there's juxtapositions in life that are always funny, right? You know, and I have some of the harshest humor out there, all right? But that must be tempered if you're demanding respect with respect for others that was absolutely not seen. And these people, the other thing is they're cowards. They don't have the guts to go do this in a mosque. I ask you, Bill Reel, I ask you, Radio Free Mormon,
I think,
would you go with New Name Noah to the Shabbat of Los Angeles and film a sex scene with a Jewish porn star in a synagogue? Is that funny? Because after all, what's wrong with that? Would you go to the mosque? Would you go to the mosque that I've got a quarter mile down the street? And would you have a bacon-wrapped, bikini-clad star doing a scene with the forbidden dietary concerns?
Well, if they did it, we'd be rid of them forever after. So
here's the thing, though.
You're not stunning and brave, Radio Free Mormon.
But anyone who's watching, like, when they feel, ugh, yeah, that's really horrible. Like, okay, why is it horrible to do that to the Jews or the Muslims, but not to Mormons? Like, what has disqualified the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints from being something worthy of respect in any measure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go on to this next one really fast. Another thing that I find interesting here is all the time we're told that as believers, we're suspending reality to such a degree that we can't actually see what reality is, and that these narratives are clouding our judgment of abject truths, right? And there's this demand to return to reality. Yet then I'm constantly, literally, I swear 90% of my time when I'm dealing with these ex-Mormon, anti-Mormon podcasters, I'm setting the record straight on false narratives that they have put into cyberspace that are not based on any primary sources or objective truths out there.
Oh, it's never primary sources.
Yeah. So here's the first one, all right, that I noticed that I thought we should address.
A group of people that was a target audience. In other words,
so he's talking about the This Is the Show videos and some of the fallout thereafter.
He totally embraced and endorsed those videos. And that was back in December. And then January rolls around, and then February rolls around. And over the weekend, I think it was of March 20th and 21st, all of a sudden, FAIR takes your videos down without any announcement. And that was the view from the outside. It seemed very strange after, first off, producing them. Obviously, they knew what was in them before they put them up on their website. And then endorsing them in these emails to people who were writing with complaints. And then all of a sudden, they just scrapped them out of the blue from the perspective from the outside. It was quite a surprise. And I was wondering if you have any insight into what happened there.
Yeah, so
we won't rehash Kwaku's answer, but literally John DeLynn made a podcast saying Fair Mormon partially repents. All right. And the weirdest thing is I can't believe these people don't understand it. They act like they're the people who have found these golden nuggets of historical truths that were forever not seen, but they've unearthed them now and they're bringing this great thing to society, but they don't know basics. Okay. Months before those videos were taken down, it was well known amongst all of us sitting here and John Lynch and Scott Gordon that we didn't know exactly where the appropriate landing spot for these things were. They ended up just going up onto the Fair Mormon page because that's where all of our other videos go.
We were deciding whether they go on this channel, whether they go on Stone 16.
Yeah, we had
Fairs.
lengthy conversations, and as part of a basic rebrand in which we're shuffling our content into different categories, okay? Just like when jewelry companies decide to make a men's line, just when purse companies or like Lululemon decides to all of a sudden start making male pants when they traditionally made female ones, or just like when Nike comes out with kids' shoes, okay? And you go through a basic rebrand, there's a shuffling that goes on. And in that basic rebrand, there is a shuffling of all of our video content. The This Is the Show videos were not the only videos taken down off the Fair Mormon page. There were many others.
And he like positions it as if there was no warning of any kind that anything was going to change. Fair was in the middle of their rebrand.
Yeah,
they had announced they were rebranding.
To be fair,
like,
I don't pay attention to any of the emails and stuff from them, so I have no clue.
Yeah,
that's fair.
and it is an organization that's very small that travels at the speed of volunteer. But at the end of the day, Fair Mormon's in the middle of the rebrand. These videos are not going anywhere. They're on my hard drive. I could post them tomorrow, but we're actually working on some edits before we put them back up, okay? And they're probably going to go up on, actually, I won't even say where they're going to go up, okay? But you notice that these people didn't say that Fair Mormon partially repented when we went to Fair Latter-day Saints. They didn't say, oh, they partially repented when Fair Mormon changed their logo. It was only when, as narcissists, the videos you were mentioned in changed. Not the logo, not the URL, not the homepage, not all 90% of everything else surrounding these videos. It's only when the videos that challenged you for the first time in a decade went down for 6 weeks, and we're actually behind in putting them back up. That's partially on us, you know. When those go away, these guys lose their crap, and then they fill in the gaps with all these false narratives. Like, oh, we can't get the apologists on the show. They just won't come when they don't call anybody.
Yeah. Like, if they were at least honest and saying, like, you're the only one we reached out to, I wouldn't be so bothered by stuff like this. I wouldn't be like, okay, yeah, I don't think I can trust you. Because if they were asking questions rather than, like, making inferences and putting them out there as fact, like, if he had even looked at all into, oh, yeah, Fair Mormon was doing a rebrand, so I guess that makes sense that they might shuffle around what their content is going to look like. Like, he wouldn't have even had to ask this question to Kwaku in here. He could have asked a better question, I think, and, like, got to the root of, like, okay, hey, what direction is Fair going? What direction is Stone 16 or Midnight Mormons going? And gotten into something actually interesting or constructive. But there was, like, I don't know that they're, like, interested in doing anything constructive out of these questions that they were asking you, you know? It just all seemed like they wanted to find something that was embarrassing in some way or another, or try to, like, get you on something.
And try and maintain a narrative of some kind of moral supporting, because at the end of the day, the reason why all of these ex-Mormon anti-Mormons are a bunch of insane wokeists is because they've got this idea that wokeism is somehow a moral authority, in which they're teaching all of us hateful and bigoted believers how to be truly thoughtful and truly sensitive and empathetic and truly charitable.
Well, Bill just drinks too much soy milk. He does. He's a soy boy.
Okay.
You don't stop being a soy boy just like when you get a tweed jacket or whatever he's wearing. Like, this guy's I'm sorry, I get the same energy from him as I get from like the UVU, like, hey guys, just like, I just feel like understanding like the feminine problems. It's just like like same thing. Soy boy.
Oh, God.
And then there was Kwaku. You know what I'm saying?
I like being able to say whatever I want. I like
Go
that.
for it.
Hey, I mean,
we won't stop you, brother. We won't stop you. And there's a reason why these people hate you.